Create with Fran Sidney. Create the life you want. Hello everyone, welcome to episode 47. Today I would like to take you through all the things that you need to be able to have success in your life despite what's going on in the outer world. In fact, in the NLP world, we believe that everything you need to succeed is already there. The resources are there. You just have to know how to get them. And you do not need hundreds of pounds or dollars to get what you really want. Is that possible? Yes, it is. In the past episode, we talked about how people can find that they always prove that they are right. If they believe that they can, they can. And if they believe that they cannot, they cannot. We talked about how a couple save a marriage by working together on a brilliant way of spending time together in a more interesting and fun way. And we talked about maybe losing weight or achieving a goal by believing and taking action in a consistent way. So today I want to go a little bit deeper and talking about a little bit about excuses. We come out with excuses all the time. And, it is just good to admit that here they are. I have excuses all the time as well, because we always do what we believe is the most important thing to do. That's how humans act. And so you have to understand that we always will say, I can't do this and that because I don't have enough money, I don't have enough time, I'm not confident enough, I'm not strong enough, I'm not fit enough to do this. And there are lots of things that we can't do, but others, it's not that we can't physically do them. It's just that there's a little bit, it takes some effort and discipline and focus. And that's the only reason why we are not getting what we want. But what if I tell you that the resources are there and you can use the energy from your own thinking to actually get a lot faster and closer to the goal? Is it impossible? I think it's possible. All humans are directed by the desire to feel good, to have pleasure. Every single action we take every day, from what we eat and drink, what time we wake up, where we go, what we do, what we say, it's all about feeling good. If something makes us feel uncomfortable or even more in pain, we don't want to do it. And so we'll do everything to avoid it. So our mind will take us always away from pain, always towards pleasure. This is how we are wired, and it's very, very difficult to change this. And it's important to know when we are changing our lives, which is what the podcast is about, sometimes change is a little bit painful, but eventually the rewards are great. And it's kind of important to know that the change isn't just something that other people can do. It's something that we can do, because we have to start by thinking that everything is possible. Why is it? Because the body is not just a mass of flesh and bones full of disease, with a mind with a few thoughts. The body is a lot more. The body has energy inside. We are not a solid mass, we're not a brick. We are made of a lot of water and a lot of small particles, and we have electricity, and this energy goes through the body. That's why, when we restart our heart, we use electricity. We are electric. This energy is palpable. Some people can actually view it, and that's what makes a person completely different from other people. You can just see them, feel them. Energetically, they're different from everyone else. In fact, when we wake up in the morning, we might say, today I feel I'm full of energy, or I'm in low energy. But this also is not something that depends on the outside. It depends on how we frame everything. And this hinges on our expectations. So let's say that today you look outside and you think, that's amazing, I'm going to go to the beach because it's a lovely, sunny, warm day. Now, for those who listen to me, if you don't know, I live in England, I'm in Norfolk, and so I'm on the east coast, which is near the North Sea. So we don't really get lots of really hot, balmy days when you get one, you better run to the beach because you don't know when the next time is gonna be that you can actually enjoy a hot, sunny beach day, right? So let's say that you get all sorted out. You call your friends and very quickly you organize everyone. You get all the bags, prepare for the picnic, prepare all the foods, the drinks, swimming suit, and you say, let's head to the beach. And we're gonna play this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna have ice cream, we're gonna go for walks, we're gonna be swimming. You just think about this wonderful day you're going to have. So you go to the car and start driving towards the beach. After 1 hour of traveling, you arrive and you notice there are a few clouds that are menacing and are quite close to the beach, and they're arriving at the speed of a light towards the area where you are. By the time you have found parking, you put down everything, you have taken all the stuff down, the blue sky has disappeared, a strong wind is blowing, and the lovely, warm, sunny day has completely disappeared. It's just a blustery day. And this has happened to me many times because the weather here is, how would you say this nicely, variable. It just changes all the time. And so you can have two reactions to this change of weather, right? So think about it. You've been in lockdown for a year, you're allowed to go out, you're allowed to meet people, and it's a sunny day. So by the time you arrive, the sunny day has gone. So you can say, oh my gosh, I cannot use my swimming suit, I cannot go into the sea because it's going to be freaking cold. I'm not going to be going up and down eating an ice cream because there is so much wind, the sun is going to blow into the ice cream, and I can't do all these games with my children or my friends because I'm just feeling too cold. And so, what type of day are you going to have? You might drive all the way back home and feel depressed. You might stay there and be grumpy the whole time. You might think that your energy is low and this is a terrible thing, and you might complain for the rest of the week about this dreadful day that you had today. And this is one way of getting your energy very, very low. But then you can create a different scenario in your mind. You can say, okay, this is maybe not the best day for swimming, but we can still have a nice walk. Maybe I'll pick up the nice coat that I had prepared in advance. It's in the boot of my car. I'm just going to pick up the coat and maybe we can just walk and have a nice chat. I love being with my friends. We can go to the pub and have a nice meal together. It's still a great day. And then we can actually say this was a brilliant rainy day because the sun is gone. That doesn't mean that life is over, right? Otherwise, all the people living in the north of Europe will be severely depressed all day long. Instead, when the snow comes, when the bad weather comes, say, oh, it's snowing, so we can make snowmen, we can make igloos, we can do winter sports, we can go skiing. So it's just the attitude, isn't it? So you can create this reality and think, what am I going to do when this happens? You cannot have any control on the weather, but you can control how you're going to feel about it and what you're going to do. And I always say gear is important. So if you are prepared for major changes of weather, you can always enjoy yourself instead of cursing yourself for believing that this was possible. This small exercise was just to remember that we have a different energy in our body. Maybe we cannot measure it, just like we manage to measure batteries, but there is energy there. As you breathe, you can feel this energy going in and going out. And there are some people that you just go near these people and you can feel the energy. If it's down or feeling excited, you can just tell. And some people literally bring you down. When you are near them, you feel this kind of dark, cloudy, menacing cloud over them because they're just negative. You can actually sense this energy of the other people all the time. There are very subtle vibrations, the way they talk, the tone of voice. So everything that we think and everything that we feel is affecting this energy inside and outside. It's a life force, what we call the Qi in China, a Qi in Japan, and some people will call it the chakras. Doesn't matter what you call it, but you do have this energy. And it's important to know that this energy radiates from your body to outside. And this is why acupuncture works so well, because, the Chinese invented this how many years ago? 2000 years ago, maybe? How does it work? It works on the energy centers of your body. It can even resolve trauma and dislodge it out of your body. And it can go exactly in the point of energy that you have that is stuck and release this energy. So is it possible to change this energy so we are feeling better about ourselves, feeling better about life, despite all the bad things that might be happening? Of course, this is absolutely possible. And although I do not want to teach you anything about chakras and points of energy, because this is not the point, it is important to know that when we have positive thoughts in our mind, we feel good. And then our energy levels are higher. So think of yourself as if you were a battery, a Duracell battery, and in this moment is empty. And the way to fill up this battery is not to have drugs or to have foods or to do something very thrilling, but to have a positive image in your mind. That's so easy. So prayer, spirituality, meditation, breathing exercise, dancing, doing something that you really enjoy, everything that you really do for happiness is raising your level of energy. Which is why if you go to a nice party with close friends where there is nice, pleasant music and people are chatting, you have a really nice, calming and energizing energy that you enjoy. While if you go to a place where there is an exam and a lot of people know that they are failing, you will feel a completely different grave. Now let's connect energy and time and goals. Because I always tell you a few things like the energy goes where your thinking and your focus is. So of course we always have excuses of why we cannot achieve this and that. And of course I'm not going to say that everything is possible. Like if I say I'm going to go to the moon tomorrow, even if I have very positive thinking, that's hardly unlikely. So that's fine. Although, Elon Musk made it to a lot of things, and probably he just started with, I can go all the way to Mars, and people laughed. And here you are, with all the satellites going up in the sky. Why? He believed it was possible. And no, he didn't pay me to say that. So when we say, I do not have time to work out 3 times a week, I do not have time to do invoices for the whole day, I do not have time to talk to my mother-in-law to establish a relationship. Are we really talking about the time, the one that you can see on your watch? Or could it be that this time is not there because you're busy with things that are more important? So that's where your energy is going. Therefore, if you want to achieve a goal, what you want to do is first of all raise your energy to a high level towards that goal. And that will help you to be more positive about it and have a more balanced life because you are getting energy towards it. So you cannot go for a trip with your car unless you put energy, some type of fuel or electricity or diesel to go somewhere. So there's no point in just sitting in the car, you have to put the fuel inside. And you can achieve a lot more stuff if you start putting the fuel and energizing the battery. Your energy will flow there where your attention goes. And you have to understand that we all distort the concept of time. So we think we don't have time, but if you just spend a few minutes writing down what you do every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., just write it down. And you will realize how many gaps you have here and there where you're doing nothing that will take you towards your goals. And so we have the time to do many things, but sometimes we're kind of waffling around in and out of social media, television, and kind of moment of stupor and just sitting there thinking, oh, what's next? Because all it is, we're not bad people, we're not stupid, we're not slow, we just lost the focus on what was really important. We do know that when we are having a really good time, time flies. We don't even realize it was this far. Have you tried a very long train journey? where you're very tight, you're very uncomfortable in your seat, and the people around you are not looking at you at all, and you have a little newspaper and you finish reading in the first half an hour, when you have nothing to do and you have negative thinking, and this journey is exhausting. Try to do the same journey with fun people that are talking to you, maybe with your friends or your boyfriend or girlfriend, or maybe you have a fun game to do. Maybe you're learning something, a language. You're doing Duolingo, hey? And you're learning Italian. Who knows? But you're filling up your time with something good. And this long journey of 5 hours in the train is so fast to you. It doesn't feel like the time was so much because you were enjoying yourself. So your perception of time is different. And the same is when we set aside time for our goals, you have to think of the energy going to that and how it will expand our time. Another thing that happens a lot is to be so stuck in what happened in the past that went wrong that we cannot think about the future. So all we do is look in the past, and all the energy is stuck in the past, and so we cannot feel the possibility of having success in the future. Of course, I'm talking about everything: losing weight, relationships, career goals. If we keep looking at the past, we're putting the energy there, so we're going to repeat the same results that we had in the past. So it is important to remember how basic it is that the only time is now. So how do you want to experience your now? So this is based on managing your time in a way that will shape your future in alignment with your real goals. So you want to stop and think, okay, how am I spending my time every day? Am I wasting time? Am I just killing the time? Or am I actually controlling what's going on in my life? And I'm not saying to plan every minute, but if you don't plan, and there is something, there is a little proverb or quote that says, failing to plan is planning to fail. And it's so true. If you don't plan it, how are you ever going to achieve it? And the energy is not going there, so you're going to feel demotivated. These are very small things, but they make such a big difference. One important trick to have a lot of energy in what we do, a positive energy, is to always refocus our life, and every 2 or 3 weeks have a look at what we're doing and looking at our actions and ask ourselves, am I acting just to deal with emergencies, or am I acting to deal with what is really important? So the long-term goal is very important. If you're always just dealing with emergencies, you have to really reassess what's going on in your life and why you're not working on your big goals. The one that you will regret in 10, 20 years that you have not followed up. So the energy has to be there. And there are some little tricks you can do or use to save some time so you can find enough time to do the things. We find the time, we create this time. One quick way of noticing how you're prioritizing your time and how time is affecting your mood and your energy is to just look back and see in the last month, when was the last time I really enjoyed myself? Or I felt that time was really flying? When was the last time that I was not under a huge pressure to do something, or that I was just doing something very, very urgent but wasn't really important? Think and analyze. How have I done? How have I felt? And was I focusing on what was important for me in the long term? And then ask yourself, what can I change so that my life has more energy, so that my goals can happen more easily, so I have more positive thinking and I feel better about myself? In conclusion, what happens to us is one thing. What we do about it is a different thing. And if we just keep reacting and not being proactive, we're not going to get the results that we want. So you have to plan ahead and think, what is the goal that I want to achieve? What do I want me to become in 10 years, 20 years? Do I want to be overweight, unfit, depressed, ill, without a job? Or do I want to have a measure of good health or possibilities of traveling, seeing people, being happy, maybe helping others, doing service, having a career, or whatever else you want, and you're saying things for the sake of making a little list. What do I really want? When look back, look at the time. How am I spending my time? Where is my energy going? Am I dealing always with the same routine things, but never really finding the time for what is really important to me to achieve? And remember that if you never have time for doing things that are really important for you, you are just going to have a very low energy. You might feel that you are depressed, that you have no motivation. You might have a little bit of bad temper sometimes. You might lose your patience with people because deep down you are not happy. One of the reasons is because your actions cannot be aligned to your long-term goals, because you allow life to just happen to you. You allow others to make schedules for you to decide how your time is going to be used. But in the end of the day, you're responsible to decide, to choose how to live your life, depending on your priorities. And remember that in the future, you cannot look back and say, I wish I'd done this, and you cannot change this past. So stop looking at your past and just think of now. What can I do today to feel great? And it doesn't have to be a self-absorbing thing. It can be anything. It could be helping someone, doing a phone call to make someone happy, rekindle an old relationship that is now stale. Whatever there is, do it today. Don't wait until you are free. Make the time. Find the time. Even the kings on earth have only 24 hours a day, just like the poorest farmer in the south or whatever country. I can't think of any country that has farmers. So everyone has 24 hours. The sun shines on all of us eventually. And so it's up to us to make the inner decision of who is in charge of this. Who is in charge of your life? Who makes the decision? And that will make your character and determine where the energy is flowing. So don't be a victim, be in charge of your life. Thank you so much for being with me for another episode. This was episode 47. If you were helped by listening to this, click like and share with other people so that more people can change their lives and create the life that they really want. If you are feeling stuck and you keep having problems or maybe panic attack or anxiety about your past and you can't move forward, you cannot think about you having success, if you find it too difficult to even visualize yourself having success, then come to me. We can have a session, we can tackle the root cause of your issue, and then you can move forward with confidence that you can have great success. And to that day, well, so long. I'll see you later, and thank you very much for being with me. Bye bye. You have listened to Create with Fran Sidney.